Hello and welcome back to another video from the WhatEwen'sDoin football channel. So for today's video, as you can see, we've got a bit of a different setup from the usual videos that we do. A few months ago I did a eBay tips and tricks. Now basically for this, what I'm going to be doing is a kind of updated version of this, and I'm going to actually show you firsthand what I do when I'm searching on eBay for, like, cheap shirts, and what I type in and what tricks I use to actually try and get some cheap strips. And like I said beforehand, I'm going to be showing you how I apply these tricks, and hopefully this will give you a better understanding as to how I can sometimes get some the good deals out there on eBay. So before we kick off, I would just like to say again a big thank you to everyone who has been subscribing and watching all the videos as well. The views seem to be going up and up, so honestly it means the absolute world to myself, and hopefully may it continue. And we're only about 8 subs away from the 100 mark, which we're so close to getting. So again, just thank you to everyone who has been watching and subscribing. So let's dive into the updated eBay tips and tricks. So the first tip that is well known, but it is still quite an effective trick that you use, is to misspell words in your search bar. So as you can see, we're on my eBay screen here now. Again, just a prime example of this. Instead of searching for football shirts, I tend to type in football with just one L and shirts. Now basically it'll come up usually with a smaller amount of shirts, but it would come up with shirts that you wouldn't normally see if you were to type it in, like, the actual word correctly. So as you can see, there are a number of shirts here, some that you wouldn't normally see if you were to type it in correctly, but again, it's just mainly down to sometimes if whoever is selling it on onto eBay, like, if they've rushed to get it up and they've not spelt it correctly, this can sometimes happen. That's why a lot of results tend to actually to come back. I have gotten a few shirts this way as well, but equally, like, as well, it sometimes takes search results if you do spell it right on to this one as well. But it is just a quick tip that sometimes some of the shirts on here they can be fake, so it's just to check, like, in the description to actually make sure that it's real. But the main the purpose of this is if you do search for a shirt in this sort of particular search bar, is that not a lot of people might actually see the shirt, so you've probably got a good chance to actually win the shirt at a cheap price. So just keep that in mind, and if you do search it this way, you may find a few shirts that not a lot of people would see, and you might grab yourself a bargain. So for the next tip, again, this is something that I do use quite a lot in terms of how I achieve strips for maybe a cheaper price than they're normally actually worth, and it's more in the search settings as such. I usually search for either fully listed or ending soon. Now basically why I tend to actually do this is that, if a shirt is about to end, like, with maybe about half an hour left and it's not got the bids on it, it's a good way to maybe make an offer on a shirt if a seller thinks that it might not actually sell. And on the flip side as well, if you search for shirts that are just online and not been on for too long, again, this is not to sort of take advantage of a seller that might not know what a shirt is actually worth. So I'll give you an example. So let's just keep on this page. So we're gonna go to, so we're just gonna keep on to the search that we put in beforehand, and if we go to this one here where it says best match, we will go to, let's see, newly listed, and we've got the accept offers selection on as well, and this will show us what we have got here as well. Now just a quick tip as well, I've not actually put it on my notes, but a good tip as well is to have the item location in the country that you're in, because obviously there can be a bit of risk if you're going to buy a top that's in another country like as well. If you do buy a strip that's from another place where it's not yourself, then usually you will be protected by eBay usually, but it's just to like avoid all that hassle and stress if you were to get a shirt that actually turns out to be fake, or your shirt doesn't actually like arrive. It's just much less stress and hassle if you do it to the country that you're in. So we're gonna do it to the UK only, and so here we go. So yeah, so again, for sellers that usually just put on a strip, they might want to start at quite a low price, so it kind of entices, like, you know, the people to actually bid. But again, if someone has maybe put on a strip for, let's say, like, you know, £5 or something, again, maybe that's the minimum that the seller might want for the strip. So if you were to say, like, you know, to actually bid a £5 on a strip, you know, they might just think, oh, like, you know, that's enough, like, you know, for me, I'll take it, I just want the strip. Then they might actually end up accepting the offer as well. And the same applies for if you were to go to Ending Soonest, for example, which we'll just pop in here just now. And if they have not got a bid or any sort of offer being accepted, then if you were to put in a lower offer, perhaps then they might just accept it, and then again, either way, you've got yourself a bargain. Now, this has happened with myself a few times. I remember it was for 2 Dortmund shirts at the top of my head. It was the black away one and the home strip as well, and I managed to get them both each for £5. So it does happen and it can work. So it's just more to do a bit of the research on it and to just apply some of the settings, and at the end of it you should hopefully end up with a bargain for yourself. So the good luck on that. So one of the biggest things that can happen on eBay when you do buy a shirt is that sometimes it can come to your home and it can show up as fake. Now, this has actually happened to me, where I've bought a shirt that looks legit, the seller has said it's real, and then it's came back to myself and then it's turned out to be fake. Luckily I did manage to return it, and then I got my money back on that. But a wee tip when you are searching for football strips, and a sly way that sometimes sellers, when they put up a shirt, when they know it's fake but they don't actually say that it is fake, it's giving you the impression that it might be real or it might be fake. So you might be like a bit like, you know, confused on that. So again, what we're going to do is that we're going to actually type this in correctly for the football strip, and I'll just try and find you a prime example. Now, the main thing for this tip is to check in the description if it has a manufacturer make. Now, say for example with this Tottenham home shirt. Now, obviously by the picture you can see that it is sponsored by Puma. Now, so just to confirm that you'll be protected in the event if the shirt does turn out to actually be fake, is to go to the description, and we're going to go, so it's only actually given, the seller has only actually put one item specific, and it is saying that the brand is actually Puma. So that in itself suggests that it is real. So again, in the event if you were to buy the shirt and it would actually turn out to not maybe have a serial number, maybe perhaps, or if it doesn't look real, or if it doesn't feel real, you've got that there to say that the seller has put that it is a genuine shirt, and that could be used for you just in case if the shirt doesn't turn out to actually be the real. So for whatever shirt you are searching for online, make sure you go into the description and just have to make sure that the pictures advertised is the same as what the item specific actually is. Because for example, it may say that it's by Tottenham, it may say that it's got like a name set, it's this, it's that, it's white, blah blah blah. But if it's not got a brand on there, that might suggest that it's not actually real. So for any shirt that you do search for, just check that out, and then if in the event that you do get a shirt that does actually turn out to be fake, you've got that there to actually make sure that you're well protected and you should get your money back, no problem. So for the next one, and it's something that I do tend to try to encourage with the people quite a lot to actually look at. This is for not to turn away shirts that have defects on them. Now, what I mean by defects on a football shirt, it can be from like, you know, slight marks on the shirt to name sets or sponsors that have maybe sort of came off in the wash, like, or anything like that. Because like I said before, I've done it in quite a few videos, and most of these things, or at least some of these things, can be fixed at your own home and from some research at the same time. So again, so as you can see on screen, back in April, and it's actually the top I've got on now, it is the Barcelona home strip from 2008-09 season. Now, as you can see here, we actually got it for a mere £2.20. Now, one of the main reasons for that is because the shirt originally had a name set on the actual back of the shirt. Now, why I think the seller accepted it for so cheap is, I will show you just in the pictures just now, is, so if I can actually find the name. So as you can see on screen here now, the name set, as you can clearly see on the actual back of it, its name is actually almost faded off, and it's only got a tiny bit of what the original name set used to actually be. Now, again, when I got the strip itself, the name set of the number 7 was absolutely fine. So in retrospect, all I've got to actually do is just take off this tiny bit of name set, and then once that's done, I can then just apply like a brand new name to it. And again, it's something that some sellers or the buyers as well tend to kind of steer away from, because it's too much sort of hassle and work. But again, I've done countless the videos on how to get a name set off of a strip as well. And for this, maybe like for a new name or a name set as such, maybe like on average price is only going to cost you maybe £10 to actually get one. So in retrospect, you'd be all in all about £12 for the shirt in total. But again, if this didn't have anything wrong, or if it didn't have a name set on it at all, you would probably be looking at maybe maybe £15 to £20, and the shirt is in absolutely brilliant condition as well. So my point is, don't turn away or be put off by strips that have any sort of defects on it, like, you know, unless it's something drastic. But at the same time, like I said before, if it's got this sort of defect on it where the name set has faded away, it can be easily replaced as well. Or if it has got some sort of mark on it, and in the event that if you do to get it home and you do try to get it off as well, but it doesn't, to come out 9 times out of 10, if you do take it to, let's say for example, like a dry cleaners, they can usually get it out as well. Again, I had this for one of my shirts a few months ago, and they did a brilliant job, and the shirt only cost me about maybe £2, and I ended up paying about maybe £6 to get it cleaned, and it came out absolutely brilliant. So yeah, like I said before, take into account some shirts that maybe have some defects on it, and it might end up being a really cheap fix, and then you've got your shirt for a very, very low price. So the last tip, and it is one of the same tips that I used in the last eBay tips and tricks the video, and it's probably the most important one, is to set yourself a budget. Too many times, again, you know, I've been the guilty of this as well, is once, like, you know, say for example, if I get myself a really good deal on a shirt, it then inclines me to go and search for more and more and more. Or for example, if there is a shirt that I've maybe been after for quite a long time, and if I know a price that I'm almost willing to go at, and then it starts to get slowly past that sort of with the benchmark, it then inclines me to think, I can always add £1 more, but then that turns into one more and one more and one more. So please just set yourself the budget for shirts, because unless they're incredibly rare, 9 times out of 10 they're always going to come back around, and you're always going to have another chance to get the shirt that you were originally after. So thank you very much for watching this the video. I hope you can take some tips or tricks from this the next time you are going onto eBay to search for strips, and hopefully get some cracking the bargains on there. But as always guys, if you do like this the video, please hit that subscribe button and like the video as well. And again, I know I said it at the start, but again, thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel as well. It really means a lot, and I will see you in the next one. You take care now. Bye for now.